एक साल पहले, 1 year before.
That funding, about who gets the care, about where people live, whether it's at home or elsewhere, and all of the problems that people face in that. And what we found was that there was evidence of severe disparity in our local Muslim community.
I'm here to support the work of this group, Sabil. I think some of the things that have come out in the report are a point of reflection. We do really need to think about how our services are geared towards members of the BAME segment and carers from that segment.
We'll try and raise some of the concerns that are in the report on the council and see if we can make progress on some of the issues that have been discussed today for the betterment of all the people here in Calderdale who are affected by social care.
Join you to hear more about people's experience, the things that people would like to see happen differently. So I'm really here to listen and then to think through with everybody here how we move forward, what could improve things, how we can work together really.
Despite acknowledgement of the misuse of the Mental Capacity Act, Human Rights Act, institutionalised racism, Eurocentric approach, here we are today, none the further, being ignored and being penalised.
I want to thank you all for joining us again, and I know that some of you have come out of area and you've been our strong allies. So first and foremost, Assalamu alaikum. We thought it was very important that we shared our experiences again. We didn't want to do this, but unfortunately we can't sit silent as well. 3 years down the line since our founder raised these issues, we are nonviolent. A lot are scared to join us today, and sadly, it's the vocal ones, like I said, that get penalised. Despite sitting in meetings, despite completing action plans, despite being forthcoming, we are treated like third-class citizens. We are made to feel dirty, devalued, and sadly, we don't know what to do anymore. Every organisation we go to, every person we go to either wants to eat the flesh of our bones or make money from it through bids and through their own selfish purposes. Is this what our community is about? I hang my head in shame. One family member, their sister was being groomed and sexually abused. Instead of investigating that, they actually tried to put a harassment order on. The second female, despite sitting in numerous meetings, is still being fed haram, sharab, and being forced to mingle with the opposite sex. The third has got no answers, and she stood up for the founder and pulled her out when she saw her being ridiculed in these meetings. And the fourth person that still stood with us, she is scared of reprisal. After being in proceedings, she felt no choice but to withdraw and take the restrictions that were placed upon her. Is this right? Is this fair? Obviously, we've
been working in social care for over 10 years. I've realised Calderdale Council and the social services do lack education around different cultures. They don't understand the diversity of different people, different cultures. There's been times when families I've been out to do assessments and I've seen the difference, the way they treat the English towards the age.
2 साल 3 साल लगे आवे ते असां राउंड सर्कल जान लगे हां हमारी भैन क्या होम च स्टिल उसी हराम मीट बेकन खवालने न हम खवालने न शराब देने न दुनिया ऑपोजिट जेड़े मर्द नाल मिलाने न इस तरह ये नहीं चंगी गल तको भाई असां मुसलमान हां उसनी आइडेंटिटी जेड़ी है वो गमती भी है भाई उसको क्या होम वाले कोई पता होना चाहिए पर जेड़े साढ़े अपने वड्डे न मसीतियां वाले अगे पिछे सारे दोने पे कोई बंदा नहीं साड़ी मदद करन लग्या काउंसलर कोल भी गए हां काउंसलर भी आने असां ये करने मस्जिद वाले पर एंड ऑफ डे कोई बंदा नहीं सा नाल टुरन लगे आ ते कोई सबनियां धीआं भैणां न किसे नाल भी हो सकना जे माड़ी अज भैन इत्थे होम च ते कल होर कुसै नी बेटी भतरी भनेई भैन कोई भी हो सकना ते एह् ना आखो असां नॉर्मल हां वो तो चलो डिसबिलिटी नाल पैदा होई सी ना पर जेह्ड़े नॉर्मल न वो भी हो सकने कि भी किसी नाल हादसा होई सकना मैं कोई बंदा नहीं साड़ी मदद करन लग्या कोई बंदा सारे नाल नहीं टुरन लग्या आखी ते बस पागलां असां फिरने पे अग्गे पिछे दौड़ तार करन लग्या पर कोई बंदा साड़ी मदद नहीं करन लग्या पर इंशाल्लाह अल्लाह
ago we were all stood here asking for accountability as to how we got into this dire situation. A year later we're still waiting for those answers. There have been action plans in place, there have been several meetings,
We've been running around like headless chickens trying to find out what's happening, but we still don't know. We're none the wiser. It's just a joke. Simple things can't be resolved. Halal meals were supposed to be resolved within 2 weeks. We're still, having our loved ones fed those meals. It's just not acceptable. We've got people such as the Council of Mosques, we've got counsellors in place who are from the same religion as us and understand our needs, but yet still we seem to be fighting this battle. If directives have been sent out and care homes, they're not meeting those, then something needs to happen. I'm still confused why no action's been taken. I've got my loved one back home, but there are several restrictions on her, so it's still like she's living in a prison within her own home. It's just not acceptable. Sometimes we're forced to accept these situations, and it's purely because these professionals deem it to be fit. So when they want, this individual has capacity, and when they want, they don't have capacity. So it all boils down to the way the whole system's working, what policies, what procedures are being followed, and we just want accountability, and we just want these issues resolved.
I'd just like to say 3 years on now, and we've found nothing changing from day one. We're going around in circles and circles, going from one end to the other. No one's there to help us. Even our own are letting us down. We don't know who to turn to. We've had enough meetings with the counsellors, with the social services, and again, we don't know what's happening. I lost my loved one in care, and the reason I'm here today is I wouldn't want it to happen to any other person. It's disgusting what's going on, especially with the Asian community. First of all, we don't know our rights, and then they're taking that to the next advantage and not letting us know where the person is, how we can go back to see our loved ones. And the stuff that's going unhidden is, feeding them haram meals, making them do stuff, or, emphasizing them that you can do this, you can do that. Islam has been taken away from them because they know no better. They're not interacting with the families, and all they are doing is getting on with their lives, whether it's the wrong way, but no one's there to put them in the right place. Again, what I'll say is we're going round and round in circles, nothing's getting done, and we are forced to do this, and which is Allah who we trust in. And inshallah, we will get justice from that, but we need to do it now. It's getting too much out of hand, and we really need to nip it in the bud. It's getting ridiculous now.
Great sadness that we sit here today, and not just sadness, we are absolutely fed up. It's disgraceful and despicable that none of the questions have been answered that Noura Sabil brought up. None of the needs have been met that were requested. They've been running us around a merry dance, and what has been achieved? Absolute zero, zilch, nothing. The people that are in care homes are not being given halal food, and that 3 years later, it's a disgrace. That need has still not been met. What on earth is going on? What will it take these people to address these needs? What will it take these people to wake up and actually recognize that we're human beings as well? They can't treat us like this. It's unacceptable. We cannot tolerate this any longer. We've sat by this, well, we haven't sat by actually. We've done so much because, as one of the sisters earlier said, we've been running around in circles. We've gone to this meeting, every meeting possible so that this could be resolved. 3 years later, absolute zero has been resolved. Nothing, nada. What are people going to do? Are we just going to sit around and accept this? It's not good enough. These people must give us our human rights. They're not even accepting our basic human rights. What on earth? How can we just carry on like this? It's despicable, and we cannot tolerate it. Something has to be done. Our needs need to be met. Questions need to be answered. People need accountability. We want accountability. Enough is enough.
You can't even do hifazat of our women. Where do we go?
Women here who are here from some of our community organisations. So I'm going to start by calling up Yasmin from Noura Sabil, who's done such a wonderful job in this.
Here, who's our local councillor, and she's been supporting Noura Sabil and Yasmin. Go on, Jenny.
I think the work that Yasmin and her friends in Noura Sabil have been doing over the last couple of years has been absolutely fantastic. they've drawn attention to the fact that there are a lot of shortcomings in the way in which families from this Muslim community are engaged with the services that should be supporting the most vulnerable people in our community. I think we've lots to learn. We're really positive about the changes that can be brought about as thanks to their work.
Local newspaper. Families felt powerless and isolated. We are genuinely sorry. Cabinet Member, Adult Social Care. Meetings that have alleged to have held with families. Scrutiny acknowledging the failings. Pledges made to work with Nouri Sabil and the lead. A few months earlier, none of our questions are none the further. We keep escalating it. We keep trying to resolve, but we get no further.